Hello and welcome to my channel. This is episode 32. First thing as always, thank you to those of you that have subscribed to my channel. If you are new, names will go up over here. And thank you to those of you that have been following and supporting me on the forum. Recognition goes up over here. Now, I have two notifications before I start. The first one is, why am I wearing this? Well, it is winter, it is getting cold, but it's colder in here. That's why I'm wearing my parka, my fingerless gloves and my beanie, which I recently purchased. The second notification is, hello to Angry Bull. If you haven't heard of him, he is a new YouTuber based in the UK. He is putting up some CQB content for Airsoft. I highly recommend you check out his channel, and good luck with your channel and the rest of the videos. And fingers crossed, hopefully I might join you up there for a game one day when it is safer. Other than that, let's get into the video. So, recently I've been on the forum with a lot of people, beginners particularly, saying, oh, I want to get into Airsoft. Wish this lockdown would end sooner. Well, it's only a month, so fingers crossed it will go quicker than we expect. And a lot of people have been asking a few questions, so I thought I'd cover it in this video today. So behind the camera, I have my board, so if you see me looking up, so I can get my bullet points, my references. And yeah, hopefully I'll cover a few things. You may agree with it, you may disagree with it, but let's get started, shall we? So, this is going to be on 10 things for the beginner. First thing, venue, sites. So, when you go onto your phone, when you go onto your laptop, type in Airsoft sites near you. You may be fortunate, you might have a lot of sites near you, or you might have a few sites near you. If you're in the minor majority where you have to travel for an Airsoft site, I highly recommend it, but again, that's up to you. I'm not saying you should do it, it's up to you. Now, very important, okay, whichever site you go to, don't decide to straight away, oh, I want to be a member here. Oh, this is going to be great, because you never know. A few games later, you might come across bad players, or you find out the site is actually pretty average or bad. If that happens, I highly recommend you get to another site straight away. So, try a few sites, again, find out what's for you, and then decide to become a member, okay? Don't just sign up straight away, okay, unless, like I said before, you have to travel or you've only got a few sites in your area. That is up to you, okay? So, let's move on to the second part, which will be solo or group. Now, everyone in Airsoft has to start somewhere, okay? Now, it'll be interesting to find out your answers in the comments down below. Put them down. Did you go solo or with a group of friends? Now, for me, I'm going to use my experience. When I started, I tried to get friends on board, and I'm pretty sure everyone's experienced this with their friends. Oh, I can't do it. Oh, I'm working. Oh, I'm not sure. No, I don't want to do it. You'll find out reasons for whatever your friends have. Now, you can try and get your friends on board. Some of them may do it, some of them may not do it. But what you realise is, whilst you're trying to get all your friends together to try and do this, sometimes you go, oh wow, it's been a week since we were supposed to do it. Wow, it's become 2 weeks, a month, a couple of months, etc, etc. So sometimes trying to get all your friends together for one game may seem cool and everything. If you get that to work, then that's great. But if it doesn't work, then this is where I started off. I went solo because I couldn't get my friends on board. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it, because the longer I leave it, the more I'm going to miss out and then probably may not do it. So I highly recommend, if your friends can't do it, you go, try it out yourself, okay? And I highly recommend you do this if you have no choice really. And it helps you to build up confidence, get along with other people, and before you know it, you're making new friends, and that's the best part about Airsoft. You're going there for fun, meeting up with local people there, people that share the same interests. So yeah, that's the whole part of the Airsoft community right there. So if you go with a group, that's great, because Sneaky mentioned this, really appreciate that. When you go in a group, you can share the experience, talk about things that happened, like I was on the left flank, I did this. Oh, whilst you were doing that, I was on the right flank doing this. And you hear all the cool stories. If you go solo, obviously it's your own experience, and you share that experience with other people you may not know, or the locals that go there, and that's how you build up stories as well as new friends, which is great. But let's move on to the third one, which is dress code. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, it's not a fancy dress code, okay? You can turn up, if you want to, as a hitman character. You can turn up like me, just like in some casual winter gear. You can turn up in DPM, MTP, Fleck Turn, or any other camo on this planet that exists. So you can wear whatever you want, okay? Now, for beginners, I tend to see this a lot more with beginners. they tend to turn up in tracksuits. I highly recommend if you turn up in a tracksuit, okay, make sure it's not your latest and greatest, okay? Get your tracksuit that you haven't worn in months or years, something that you're prepared to wreck, particularly for woodlands, CQB, you don't need to worry that much, okay? I also recommend if you're going into the woodlands, get some appropriate footwear. I have mentioned this in my videos before. If you haven't seen them, check them out for beginners. So yeah, you can wear whatever you want. Don't feel like, okay, if you turn up in a tracksuit, okay, most people will be like, yeah, he's a new guy. But if you want to blend in a little bit more, or you know you're going to get into Airsoft, I highly recommend you get something from Surplus, from DPM, or whatever camo you want. Again, I've mentioned this in my videos before, check them out. And it helps you to blend in, and obviously, for me, I brought DPM for my first game, because I wanted to blend in with the woodlands, and obviously, not show that I was kind of a beginner. And if you're renting, that's kind of a big clue there, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day because I had a great time, and hey, I'm doing videos right now for you guys, so that should tell you something right there. So yeah, bring what you want. I highly recommend, if it's wet like it is today or cold, bring appropriate clothing, okay? Don't turn up in your summer gear or shorts unless you really want to, if you're crazy. So yeah, just dress appropriately and have fun. The fourth one, rental and rules, okay? Now, when you go online or when you turn up on the day, signing your waiver, paying however you pay online or on the day, when you get the rentals, don't muck around with them. The marshals will explain this. I have mentioned this in my videos before, so look after them. I highly recommend for beginners, don't go full auto, okay? Use it appropriately and tend to stick in semi, because the one thing that annoys a lot of us is when we get overshot to the point where we're like, come on, you've shot me a number of times. I don't mind it the first few times, but after like a dozen goes, you're still doing the same thing. Yeah, you're not going to get on anyone's good side. So just bear that in mind. Obviously, call your hits, very important. Look after the riff, realistic imitation firearm, the rental that you got on the day. If there are any problems, again, I mentioned this in my videos, check it out, see the marshal, okay? Don't get your friend to fix it, let the marshals do it, okay? So listen during the briefing, where the marshals talk to everyone. We've all heard it before, but again, it's all part of the safety briefing. Everyone has to be there, everyone has to listen, and once you've done that, the fun can begin. So yeah, just do that and you'll have fun. Let's move on to the next one. Number 5, get stuck in, okay? As a beginner, it doesn't matter, if you turn up in your tracksuit or in your surplus gear, get stuck in, okay? Now, for me, when I first started, I did that, and I had a great time. I was working with other players, regulars there, even beginners there that were either in like camo like me or in their tracksuits. I was like, right, let's get stuck in. Because if you just stand around, you're not going to have fun. If you stay at the back, you're not going to have fun. So the only way you're going to have fun is by getting straight in. Now, you can go head on in, straight into where all the BBs are going to be flying, and it turns into Dodge City. Or you can be a little bit more stealthy and go on the flanks, which I like to do, and then just outmaneuver people, surprise people. I highly recommend for beginners, obviously, yes, call your hits, watch your control fire. Another thing for beginners, very important, okay? Don't just run straight into where all the crossfire is, or walk casually out, because when you do that, you actually expose yourself as an easy target. And I cannot tell you how many times I picked off rookies that casually walk around like they're on patrol. Ooh, I'm safe, no one's going to get me, bang, oh, hit. So yeah, always keep your guard up. A very valuable tip there in Airsoft, always keep your guard up, no matter what. If you hear, well, how can I put it? I'll give you a few examples. If it's quiet, I'm concerned, because I'm thinking, where is everybody? If I hear a firefight going on in the distance, I bear that in mind, but I think, okay, that's going on over there, what's going on over here? So again, always try and keep your guard up wherever you can. Number 6, UKARA/membership. Now, whichever site you go to and have a great time, highly recommend you stick there, get used to it, obviously know the site, get used to the players, bring your friends. On the first day, if you know straight away you want to be a member, get your UKARA paperwork sorted out straight away, because the sooner you do it, the better, because then obviously you have to do a certain amount of time, and before you know it, you've got your UKARA license, your code, which allows you to buy all the good gear that you want for your loadout. I highly recommend though, you stick to a budget, okay, when you first start off with, obviously, unless you've got the money. And yeah, with your UKARA license, you can buy whatever you want, realistic imitation firearm, RIF. And yeah, obviously just bear in mind, for your first few riffs, be sensible, okay? Buy something within your budget unless you can get something better. I highly recommend an AEG. I've mentioned this in my videos before. If you haven't seen it, check it out. And being a member, should I say, more importantly, gives you a few little perks sometimes. So you might get a little discount when you go regularly there, or there's going to be codes online, and you just say, right, I'm a member, type it in, you get a discount. It may not be a lot, but hey, it's worth it for the membership. So the UKARA is not expensive, and the membership is not expensive. So 2 good deals there. Highly recommend you look into them, okay, especially when you join up. Let's move on to the next one. Number 7, extra gear. So what do I mean by that? Bring waterproofs if necessary. Bring extra clothing if necessary. Bring extra food, water, whatever you need to make your day better, okay? Now, sometimes I bring this stuff with me. I may not use it, but I'm glad it's there, okay? Now, if you are like me, I like to prepare, bring extra gear, because you never know. Your friend may turn up, he forgets something, you can give him a part of your gear to use. Your friend may turn up, forgot, I don't know, for example, his food, his lunch, he's forgotten his batteries, he's forgotten extra clothing, or he's torn his clothing. You've got that. You kind of become your own little quartermaster. So it does help to bring extra gear. So yeah, extra batteries, food, water, clothing. I highly recommend those 4. Obviously batteries as well. So yeah, whatever you need to bring, take it with you, because the one day you don't bring it with you is the one day you regret it. And that has happened to me plenty of times. So let's move on to the next one. Number 8, level up. What do I mean by level up? So if you look at your games, your consoles, Xbox, PS, if you notice when you do achievements or anything, you unlock something, you get to that new level, and then you prestige if you're into that sort of thing. So what I mean by that is simply, if you do enough of Airsoft, you build up your experience of the site, the players, how you want to play. Do I want to attack? Do I want to defend? Do I want to counter? Do I want to be stealthy? Do I want to go guns blazing, etc., etc.? So it's like anything. You build up your confidence over time. And that's one of the most important things in Airsoft. You're going not just there to build up your confidence, but you're going there to have fun. And everyone else there is going to have fun, unless they're taking it seriously or want to do their own thing. Leave them to it, okay? Most of us are going there for fun. Obviously, if it's just a regular skirmish day, there's skirmish, battle sim, and mil sim. Skirmish is where you just turn up for the day and have fun. Battle sim is midway between the two, a bit more objective based and a bit more seriousness. Mil sim is pretty much hardcore airsofters that want the closest thing to a mil sim experience without obviously taking real ammos to the chest and dying. So yeah, that's my way of putting it. So just go for a few games, and before you know it, you're like, wow, I've got used to this site now. I'm no longer holding back. I'm getting stuck in. I'm going to the left. I'm going to the right. I'm going up the center. I'm trying new things. That's the important part. You try things. You may go to your same site, and after a while, like me, going to Red Alert, you know pretty much the site like the back of your hand. And then you go, right, for challenges, again, a part of my video, if you haven't seen it, check it out. You think, right, I want the MAC 10. I want the RPK. I want my AK. I want to do something different, you know, add a bit more fun and a twist to it. So let's move on to the next one, number 9. AFUK, Airsoft Forum United Kingdom. Now, I'm on there, and there's a lot of people that I know, my friends that I've told to go on there, and this is kind of like the Facebook for Airsoft. You can find pretty much anything on here you want to. Obviously, it's a welcoming Airsoft community for the forum. So if you're a beginner, I highly recommend you go on there, you get stuck in, you can find players that are near you, players that go to your local site, put in questions, and people will answer them. Obviously, there's a lot of nice people on there. Obviously, being part of the community is one of the best perks, really, because, for example, I could type in, let's see, okay, Airsoft sites in Weybridge, and a bunch of people will come back saying, oh, try this site, okay. Another one would be like, what would you recommend for a first airsoft gun? And within minutes, people will be like, oh, try this gun. So there will always be an answer out there on the AFUK. I highly recommend you join it. And like I said, I'm on there. So yeah, if you want to chat, by all means, I'll have a chat with you. Obviously, as long as you're not too crazy or weird, then fair enough. Why not? So let's move on to the last one, number 10, having fun, okay? Fun is one of the most important things of any hobby, activity, sport, okay? Now, it's quite interesting, out of those three, put your answer in the comments down below. Do you think it is a activity, a hobby, a sport, none of those, all three of those, or something completely different? I'm quite curious to find out. So, yeah, when I started 3 years ago, hard to believe, I think it was back in 2017, I wanted to go just for the fun, the experience, and I haven't looked back since then. I've had a great time. I've met new friends. I've stayed in touch, with my old friends when I first started, and I've started a channel which I didn't expect to do. Well, I kind of did in a way, but I'll tell you that for another time. But no, the reason why I'm doing this is the simple reason right now. Look at me. I'm in lockdown, okay? I'm bored. I want to do a hobby or an activity, and it's limited on what I can do. And I thought I'd do these videos just for fun, recreation, boredom, and most importantly, getting people involved in Airsoft, okay? Showing the good side. Too many videos recently, in my opinion, again, this is my opinion, too many videos are clickbait or headshots or bad players, or in many cases, just overdoing it. And it's quite an experience. Like I said, I'm new to the scene on YouTube, and honestly, I just want to see how it goes for the rest of 2020 and then look at 2021. So yeah, that's really it. Just remember, when you play Airsoft for the first time, don't have your expectations so high up in the sky. Just keep yourself level-headed, go there for fun, be approachable, be yourself, okay? You're going to fit in with some people, not all people, but again, you're going there for fun, and the rest of the people there are going there to have fun as well. Anyone else that takes it too seriously, or is an aggressive player, or that annoying player, just forget them, okay? Let the marshals deal with them. You go and have your fun, alright? And that's it for this video. So that was my own personal opinion. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. And yeah, that's it for today. So, like, comment, share and subscribe. Don't forget to click the little bell icon so you know when the next video is. I enjoyed making this video. I look forward to making the next video. The most important thing you can do is stay safe.